Welcome to the Top Gun Show, where I try to bring you new providers, new technologies, and introduce you to the best professionals in the industry, all so you can make informed decisions. Today, I'd like to welcome Dan Eisenhart, the Director of Solution Architecture for GTT, the sponsor of the Top Gun Show. Dan has over 25 years' experience in the telecom industry and the past 5 years at GTT. Dan has a rich mix of work history working his way through the ranks of the telecom industry with roles ranging from customer support, network engineer, design engineer, and director of network operations. Dan prides himself using that background and lessons learned to improve the partner experience at GTT. Dan, welcome to the Top Gun Show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, 2 weeks ago we had James Karimi, your CIO and CISO, and last week we had Rich Vidal on the show. Together, they painted an exciting picture of GTT's global capabilities and the infrastructure to back it up. We'd love to hear from you the GTT approach to some of the hottest products in the market today. So can you please share with me how GTT goes to market for security solutions like SASE, and if there's any strengths that help separate GTT from that crowded space?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's several factors that come into play when you're talking about a security, right? So one of the biggest factors is understanding the customer, right? Understanding their needs, their capabilities. What aspect of a SASE framework are they doing today, and what GTT can help them with to fulfill the entire SASE platform, whether that is the zero trust, the secure web gateway, whether it is the CASB, having the expertise and partnering with the best in the business to be able to bring in that product to market for the customer is really key. So it isn't just about what tech is either. It's cost, ease of use, and ease of deployment, right? So being able to partner with somebody has the expertise such as GTT with a large global network, a tier one network, and be able to keep our traffic from a network perspective and our large peers with all the major cloud providers, we can keep that traffic privately on our core is really key to a customer and being able to fulfill their entire security platform.
Yeah, that's well said. I mean, the trust that you guys have, being such a large tier one provider and knowing what you know, I mean, really makes you stand out because, as you know, security is not a product; it's a practice. And the way you approach SASE is really great for partners and their customers alike. Okay, what about MDR or other cybersecurity solutions? Does GTT have security expertise in that area as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, let's start talking about MDR or managed detection and response, right? So one of the big key factors of MDRs, one is having the products, right? So we use logarithms as a SIEM server that we gather information from the client, and that's monitored and managed through our SOC, right? So our SOC is really the eyes on glass. So we have automation built on the backside that or back end, excuse me, that gathers the information, analyzes that information, and then any information that needs or comes up as a security vulnerability, we have that eyes on glass or the people or the SOC that can look at that information. And it's really important not just to have a SOC, but have people that are certified to understand the business and understand the customer's security posture. Matter of fact, we're the fifth SOC in the globe to receive the CREST certification, right? So that's the highest level of certification that you can get from a SOC perspective. So going back to what I talked about earlier, or Rich probably talked about earlier, is having this large global tier one network. Well, what does that mean for the customer? Roughly about 75% of all traffic stays on our network. We have that peering point, like I mentioned earlier, with all those various cloud providers. So being able to keep that traffic in our network, and a tier one provider, we have probably one of the largest threat landscapes on the planet. So being able to analyze that data, take what we learned from securing our own backbone for years and applying that to the customer and be able to provide that SOC services and the individuals and the expertise to be able to help a customer secure that framework is really a huge benefit for us.
Well, that's great. The fifth on the globe to have a CREST certified SOC. Help people like me that aren't technical understand. I know you're not talking about toothpaste here. What's a CREST certified SOC?
Yeah, it won't whiten your teeth, right? So it's the CREST actually stands for the Council of Registered Ethical Security Testers. So it's really the professional industry for the security practices. So anybody who is looking for a provider that has the knowledge, that has the certification to be able to analyze their logs, to recognize threats, and to remediate threats for them, is really looking for somebody who has that CREST certification. So that's usually dedicated to individuals, but to have a large organization backed up by a large network to be able to have that certification is really a key factor for GTT.
Yeah, that's important because not all SOCs are the same, right? I mean, I've talked to providers that we have 3 people in our SOC. You guys being CREST certified, you guys really do it right. So thanks for explaining that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, sure.
Well, Dan, I know you're a big fan of the Top Gun show, and I know there are millions and millions of people watching you right now. Why don't you tell the viewers a fun little known fact about yourself?
Yeah, a little known fact about myself, a father of 4, all big sports enthusiasts. I happen to be a coach from the youth all the way up to the high school level. I've been a high school lacrosse coach for the past 17 years. So actually just retired from that this year. My youngest son is going on to bigger and better things. So I'm no longer going to be coaching him at the high school level. So I'm going to go watch him and sit back and enjoy.
Wow, that's amazing. 17 years? Did they have lacrosse 17 years ago?
Well, they had it for, matter of fact, it's the oldest sport in the country. They played by the Native Americans. So it's very fun, very interesting sport.
Boy, the things you find out on the Top Gun show, man. I love it. Thank you. Well, I'll tell you what, Dan, I know you're a busy guy. Thanks for carving out time out of your busy schedule to be on the Top Gun show today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks for watching, everybody.